All right, guys, welcome to another show here. Driving Fast, Taking Chance with Bad Brad. My guest, the legendary Randy LaJoie. This episode brought to you by Jeff Hill Trailer Sales in Modoc, Indiana. JeffHillTrailerSales.com has got everything you need. Cargo, utility, stacker, full-blown race trailer. Whatever you need, Jeff and his crew will get you taken care of. JeffHillTrailerSales.com. Check them out today. I'll go ahead and plug one of his stats there. 2023 NASCAR's top 75. As I researched and prepared, I told Randy right before we went live here, man, you're a bad dude, man. You won a lot of stuff, did a lot of cool stuff. Tell us, first of all, Randy, where did it all start? Where was that first race? Where did we get started? How did this all start for you?
Norwalk Go-Kart Club at Calf Pasture Beach.
They had go-karts back then?
Oh, yeah. They had motors, too.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to have a big one to haul my fat ass around.
Now, all the go-karts were black and white because they hadn't invented color yet. Is that correct?
No. There's some nice, pretty yellow ones and red ones. But come on now, ain't that old?
Not that old.
Hey, the Go-Kart Club is still there.
Wow.
Parker Klickerman comes
Yeah,
from
Parker.
it.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, he been there, done that, raced my cousin,
absolutely.
my nephew. That was it, go-karts. And then I went to Danbury, Connecticut.
What year was go-karts? When did we first sit in the seat? If you had to guess.
12.
2000 or
No. Well, I was
1912. That's you look really good, man.
I was 12.
Yeah. Okay, right on. And you're how old today?
64.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
You look good for 64. I hope I look
well.
that good. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you never guarantee tomorrow.
That's true, brother. That's true. So we start at the Norwalk Go-Kart Club. What happens next?
My dad was a multi-time champion at this place called the Danbury Race Arena.
Yeah.
Which the only other place in the country is similar but different would be Bowman Gray.
Okay.
Due to the fact that Danbury you could race on.
Right on.
2 lanes.
Yeah.
They still pounded them in the fence, and
we
fought.
We argue that we can race at Bowman Gray too, but carry on.
Well,
yes.
you used to could. But it was amazing because it was a club. You had to get voted in, voted out.
Wow.
They wouldn't let Richie Evans or those guys come in and take all the money.
Nice.
Hey, us, and they always send up 15 cars home.
And what kind of car was that?
Modified.
So you went straight from the go-kart to the modified?
Correct.
Right on.
Sports and modified. I went with the 2-barrel class, which is now the SK class.
Now, you guys were actually building modifieds.
Yes. You build a whole car.
We weren't calling Maynard behind a car. We were building cars.
No, the junkyard. We were junkyard specials.
Skin and bodies.
The last couple my dad bought. He bought some and then redid them.
Sure.
But we did all that stuff. I was the very first new style Cavalier body.
Man, those were great looking cars.
At Stafford.
80,
Weekly show.
384, 85?
No. I sold the stuff that, maybe 82, 83.
Yeah,
right there when that Cavalier come out.
Yep.
Because I sold that car. That was my last race car with that body on it, the first one ever, to Teddy Christopher. And that was Teddy's first race car.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man,
I think he still has it.
So what is the, when you race the modifieds, who was your arch rival? Who was your arch nemesis? Because you were racing against some sluggers back then.
Locally, back there, Danbury was, the guy's name was Wingnut.
Wingnut, nice.
Imagine that, right? I mean, and I say to people, if it wasn't for Wingnut at Danbury, I mean, the guy, he won a championship before I did. Didn't like a kid coming in there. It was a little rough on me. And he's a guy with 9 lives, and the name fits him well. He's a Wingnut, Yeah. So if I didn't deal with him, I sure in hell want to know what to do with this kid named Buckshot.
Right. Yeah.
So I say Buckshot. I mean, I'm in the shower and I shut my eyes and okay, thanks, Buckshot. And the fucking room was spinning.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
And I was like, damn.
You got the bell rung,
time
huh?
ago. Oh, yeah. He got me a couple times.
Yeah, right on. Yeah. So when you ran Thompson, those places like that, late in your modified career, who was the guy to beat? Other than you, obviously.
Well, I mean, I went through the modifieds 1, 2, and then I went to Busch North.
Yeah.
So
and the Busch North deal was awesome, man.
Jesus.
Golly,
we had the Canadians, we had the Moners and the Maine. I was racing weekly once Danbury shut down. The second year I was there, I think we won 14 out of 20 races.
So decent season.
Yeah, it was okay. Danbury shut. We had to go to Stafford on Friday and New London on Saturday. In New London, I almost won the championship. I lost the championship to Muse Hewitt, a multi-time champion up there. If I beat him, I had to win the race and he had to run third. During the race, my dad's leading. It was my dad's last race.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And my dad's leading the race, and me and him are coming through traffic. Well, we get a caution 10 to go. I'm third, and Moose is fourth. I was like, wow, okay. I mean, I'm going to have to go win the race. I said, that's going to be tough. Well, I get the guy in front of me on the restart, and now I'm on old man's ass.
Oh, man.
And I start laughing because I look in the car, and his mirror's turned up.
He don't want to see. He don't want to know.
And he always taught me that when I was a little kid. If you're leading the race, put your mirror up and hit your marks and go where you're going.
Right.
Okay. So I had to chuckle, it's okay. Well, I got to run. I got under him, and New London was a place, there was a little bump getting into one, and you hit the bump and you nerf the guy, and away you went. I couldn't do that to my dad. I was still living at home. I wasn't paying rent.
You were going to be homeless, but you were going to be a winning homeless guy. That's okay.
It was okay. And the last race he won, I run second. And it was good because, everything he told me to do, he did.
Right on.
So that was cool.
So then we go Busch North Racing.
Yeah, I do. They had at New London, that promoter, Dickie Williams, had this NASCAR North guys show up.
Yeah.
The Coors Tour. They come in one night, and the
Didn't
week
it seem
before,
like all the tours were beer tours at one time?
It might have been some money. It might have been some beer
there
drinking going on.
Never, no.
No, a quart or two. Well, he said, "Hey, Randy, week before the race, he goes, hey, next weekend he's got these cars coming in, full body cars. Do you want to drive one? Yeah, sure, put me in.
Yeah.
So they carried one with them, the old Busch North Tour. And I got in that thing, practiced it, and it wasn't my seat, number one. So I was damn near falling out of the car.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? I got to hold myself in this darn thing. How the hell do you do that? Well, okay. So, we did okay. I run second in the heat race.
Yeah.
They had a weird point system, so we probably started 14th, 15th out of 20. 30 laps in, I'm leading the show.
No, at your track, home track.
Track.
You may have the home turf advantage, but not the home car advantage.
Yeah, but the only problem was it was 150 laps.
Oh, and you're holding yourself up in the seat.
Yes, and I might have burned the tires off.
Maybe.
Lap 75, I was done. We were done. I mean, I was sideways. I was sweating, and I don't know where we finished. Pulled off, and got out of the car, and I'm wiped out. I still got to drive the modified, and old C.A. Crouch, Robbie Crouch's dad, comes over. He said, young man, you know what happened tonight? I said, I'm trying to catch my breath.
Yeah.
He says, you drove the car too fast through the corners.
Too fast? You didn't even know that was a possibility, did you?
No.
Yeah.
I was like, crazy old man.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, well, guess what? I was driving too fast. Yeah, your way, my way.
How long did that advice stick with you?
Ever.
The rest of your career, wasn't it?
Ever.
Yeah.
And I passed it on. Okay, guys.
Yeah. Right on. So we go Busch North Racing.
Yep.
Now
that was fun. We raced in Maine, New Hampshire, Nova Scotia, Montreal,
everywhere.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I remember growing up as a kid
Toronto,
watching that deal, man. Busch North was the heat, man.
New York,
devastating when I saw the Busch North deal was ending. Which was kind of that transition to K&N or whatever it became.
I might have had something to do with that.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so.
But you had the Canadian bunch.
Yeah.
John Paul Cabana, still alive today. God bless him. What a guy. He was a legend, still is.
Yeah.
2 or 3 of his guys that worked for him have been at Hendrick for 30 years.
Right, smart guys.
Yes, sir. But Jean Paul, we're at Quebec City. Son of a bitch. And I'm second, and I'm catching them. Not many to go. And I think I seen a 5 to go. I said, okay, I got to go. Okay, and I had figured out where I was going to make it. He was pretty good, but I had him. I said, okay, I got him. Made the move, And when I did, he threw his hands up and just started waving like the caution come out. So what did I do? I lifted.
Oh, my.
He ain't checked up yet.
Oh, my gosh.
And
man, that's
all
pretty
he
smart.
yes. So we're standing on the podium. I said, John Paul. I said, what was that? He said, I teach you something today, young man.
Yes, I guarantee it.
Canadian accent. I said, you son of a bitch.
Did that happen ever again?
I've used it.
Yeah, no, but it never happened to you again,
No,
did it? Yeah,
no.
yeah. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and bump into you if there's a caution.
correct.
They'll tell me. Yes. Wow, that's pretty big. So Busch North, you run a
Yep.
Canadian, you've done your stuff there. At what point do we make it? We're going to call it quote unquote big league racing. What was your first real break? Who did you drive for first, and what kind of car was it?
Well, it all started when, way back in the days of the modified, they had that Speedway modified deal.
Yeah.
My dad and Bob Johnson, crew chief, built the modified. Still had it. This is mid-'80s,
Yeah.
early 80s.
Yeah, those were the days, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, the NASCAR North guys we did that race in that car.
Yeah.
And I said, that was kind of fun. And Bob Johnson said to my dad, hell, we got that old Firebird.
You did the race where, though?
At Waterford.
Right?
Okay. And they said, hey, they got a race at Dover.
Yeah.
We could take that
1
old
mile.
Firebird
Yeah.
and put a body on it. So here we go. We got 3 months to take this old Firebird body off this old, it was a Tom Pistone chassis.
Yeah.
And we cut another one off a junk car, stripped it all out, gutted it out, put it on, did all the work, go down and run second.
Nice.
Yeah.
At Dover.
At Dover. I was hooked.
I bet so.
I was hooked. I mean, especially at Dover. We got there. Bob had a relationship. He was Race Hill Farms crew chief when Race Hill Farms were up here in Connecticut. Birdie, that's where Birdie got his start. But Harry Gant run really good down there.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob said, hey, go talk to Harry Gant. And he'll tell you how to get around here. Okay. So I go down, and Harry knew me. He knew Bob was working for me. And I said, hey, Bob sent me down here. How do I get around this place? He said, well, he says, middle of 3 and 4. He says, you're on the bottom. And this is hard to see because the banking's so high. He goes, when you're on the bottom of 3 and 4, he goes, you look up, you'll see a telephone pole. And that's what you're aiming for. That's your exit point.
Wow.
Sure and shit. Okay, there it is. Okay, that's my exit point. They concreted the track. They took the exit point away.
Oh, my.
I come out of the first corner, drove straight into the fence.
Oh, my.
They said, what happened? I said, there's no damn pole there
There's no telephone pole. You're looking for the pole.
Yeah, I'm still looking for the pole. What the hell? But I always enjoyed Dover. I swept the Busch races there
Yeah.
1 year, and that was cool.
Yep.
But that all started. Was at New London in an old Coors tour car. And then it went to building this car my dad and Bob had.
Right.
And then we built brand new Freddie cars. And we chased that 84, 85.
Yeah.
And then we thought we were going to go south. And, the condominium market kind of went away.
Sure.
And that's where we had 2 brothers, the Snellman brothers. They were kind of funding a deal.
Right.
So, okay, we got to do something. And I got a call to move south. Spencer was moving to the Cup car.
And so you came down here and went to work with Jimmy.
I went to work for Frank Cece in the 34.
Okay.
He needed somebody. He needed a driver because Jimmy went to Cup. And that started it. I drove for him for that year.
And that was 80.
Ooh, shit, 88.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So we're almost to the heydays there. We're not there yet, but okay.
Yeah. And just got married and come down, moved in, and Frank, he might have sold me a bag of goods, cars and motors.
Yeah.
And me and little Jimmy Smith and his sister and John Young. That was it, the 3 of us. And I said, okay, this is a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work.
First time out, we run second at Hickory. That was a good race. Should have won the darn thing. We pitted later than everybody. But if it would have played out, we would have smoked their asses. Yeah. But oh well.
There was plenty of smoking in the future, though.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. And then everything dried up. I was going to do my own deal.
Yeah.
Ford was going to fund it. I said, okay, why not? I bought a Ford from Ron Neal, the old prototype engine guy. It was his Ford cop. Eddie drove it. Supposed to be getting motors from them. Ended up, I bought 2 Moroso cars, 2 championship-winning cars, cut the bodies off, got all the sheet metal from Ford, put it on the cars, built 2 beautiful cars. Motor situation, I think I got a set of intake gaskets.
Ooh.
Yeah, so.
That's pretty expensive.
Yes.
And I heard you say also you built 2 cars.
Yes.
This is how long ago this is. We built 2 cars.
Yes.
Not 8, not 10, not 12.
Yeah, correct.
We built 2 cars.
Yeah.
And you guys built them.
Well, we put the bodies on.
Yeah.
As I said, we took championship winning bodies off, and then 6 months later, I'm putting Buick bodies on.
Back on them, right.
But damn near went broke. I had to start a fabrication business. Always had a CDL.
Yeah.
So hell, I'll drive people's trucks. I don't care. I'll do whatever.
So you were racing. You had a seat. Things didn't go well, and you had to go back. You had to go back to the grind.
Yeah, correct.
How many years
that
did you?
was pay to play.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So pay to play come in to Frank and said, hey, I got some money. Okay. Randy, you're gone.
Yep.
At least until, when did I go back to Frank? Frank called 04, 05 again. He brought Dollar General in.
Okay. So you're back on the road. You're doing your stuff. You're fabricating. You're building stuff. When does that big break come, man? Because I'm sitting here talking.
Dick Moroso.
Okay.
Dick Moroso and my dad grew up together. Dick had a straight liner, had a street shop in Greenwich. Knew of my dad. Dad's a round guy. Dick came to the shop with his head engine guy, my dad said, and my uncle was the engine builder for my dad, and they had one of their motors apart. And they come in, and my dad said, I just happened to look at Dick, and I watched him, and when his eyes caught the oil pan that was going on the motor my dad had, his face lit up. He goes, his eyes lit up. He goes, he moved his glasses and he walked over there and looked in there. And he looked at me and says, what's this? I said, it's my oil pan. He says, can I borrow it for a couple of days?
Oh, wow.
My dad said, sure. He said, why? He says, we've been blowing a lot of motors with our oil pans. And this is why, because they don't have those doors in them.
Oh, they didn't have baffles in them. Yeah.
So Dick took it. He brought the oil pan back to my dad and says, in a catalog, and said, you ever need anything, get whatever you need.
As it turns out, we need lots.
Well, I mean, my dad never wanted for anything.
Sure.
The deal went down to me, and it went down to Corey.
Yeah.
And I'm still good friends with the family. I just had the grandkids come to the seat shop here probably 6 months ago.
Nice.
Yeah, I wanted to tell a story about Dick and Robbie and
right on.
to see what they were. But yeah, Moroso did that. He had Fina, 94, Hamilton in the Cup car. I was going to be the Busch guy. First race.
What was the first year for Fina with you? Because that's the first time I'd ever even heard of Fina.
Yeah, that would have been 94.
So that you won the championship the next year, right? 95, 96?
6 and 7.
6 and 7.
Yeah,
so you had.
I went 1 year Cup.
Okay.
Then 95, I went Cup racing.
So 94, you're in the Busch car with Fina.
Yes.
95, 1 year in the
racing.
Cup car.
Yeah.
And then you went back to Busch. Okay, I didn't realize that you went up and then you went back.
Yeah.
Why did you make the transition from Cup back to Busch?
Well, okay.
It was still Busch then, too,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. So we had Fina, had a good race team at Moroso.
Sure.
The last year of the V6s, following year to go to 9-1s. We were leading the points and we blew up 11 motors.
Oh, gosh. In the 9-1 deal or V6?
Yeah, in the V6.
Okay.
In the V6s. So that season was shot. Dick wasn't happy, and he was going to get somebody more aggressive, so they got Bobby Hilland.
Okay, well, all right.
I think the following year they had 9 drivers.
Okay.
But I seen that coming, so I called the president of FINA, I said, listen, I'm going to go cup racing.
Yeah.
I says, but I says, I've enjoyed how you guys are doing this. They had a chemicals division, which is
Sure.
in another division. I was like, oh, these guys are really cool and they get it.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to bring this in and entertain people. I said, could be a program that's not going to cost you a lot of money because
Sure.
all your people are going to pay for it.
Right.
And he was a real good guy. So I called him. I said, hey, don't get pissed off next year when this thing goes sour. I said, I don't see that thing happening all good, with Dick. I don't think Dick's in a good place.
Well, I mean, you got proofs in the pudding. You got 9 drivers have gone through there.
This is
so
true.
Yes.
So I was like, don't get upset. This is all before that happened.
Right.
Well, okay, so be it. He was okay. I'll take that under advice. He was a smart man. So I go cup racing with Bill Davis, MB&A. Okay, I should have known right away when they made me shave. And
Now hold on. So you drove for Bill?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bobby left.
Yeah.
Bobby went to Junior Maxwell.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Maxwell House. Yeah. Yeah.
And I went to Bill's with MB&A.
Okay.
So
you say MB&A better than Ward Burton, by the way, but carry on. Go ahead.
Yeah. We all should talk like him.
Yes, we should. So you drove for Bill. What year was that? That 95?
95, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Going for the Rookie of the Year. Got caught at Daytona with a trunk lid that went up and down.
And as it turns out, in 95, the trunk lid was not supposed to go up and down.
Yeah, something happened. There was a switch.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they don't like that, and they fined him a lot of money.
Let me ask you a question. Was there specifically a rule when you guys rolled down there that says no switches to operate the trunk up and down, or was that a gray area? Because we're racers, and we love gray areas.
That was very gray.
Very gray.
Yeah.
There may be a rule now that says no up and down trunks.
No hydraulic devices.
Yeah.
The pins have to be stationary.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great.
I like the way you guys read between the rules, though.
3/4 of an inch.
So Daytona, we get caught with a less than stellar part.
Yes.
But imagine if you hadn't got caught with it.
Yeah, it would have made the motor shop look good.
Wouldn't it have? Yeah, absolutely. It's all horsepower.
Yeah. Correct.
Right.
So I didn't last a year. It was terrible. First 14 races, I had no fun. The poor guy that was the crew chief shouldn't have been. He was a car chief for Mark Martin.
Yeah.
So all his notes were Mark Martin's notes, and that's what we ran. And Atlanta, you really can't run a 7 1/4 inch right front A-frame. I knew
But
that
Mark
was
liked
there.
that.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And my dad, he would get aggravated because he'll come and he'd say, hey, come here, look at this tire. Because, hey, one of the things you learn at a very young age, you got to read the tires.
Absolutely.
So we look at a right front tire, and half of the tire is not even on the ground. The outside half is not even touching because the A-frame's so damn short.
Right.
And I bring it up and say, well, that's what we always run.
We could always be wrong.
Yeah, well, I was like, okay, yeah, you're always really fast too,
Yeah.
So, and I complained. I said, look, I'm not sure we're going down the straightaway all that good either. I said, because when I do get a run and I go alongside somebody, they go right by me.
Yeah.
Well, I get shit canned.
So 14 races.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never got paid. I had a 3-year contract.
So, some rumors, and, not to pull a scab, but some rumors kind of followed that team in general, not necessarily that sponsor, but that team in general, that there may have been some absence of compensation where promised. I've heard that, obviously we're both friends with Larry Shaw.
Yeah, correct.
And Batesville's kind of like Little Mooresville. For people who don't know,
this is true.
Been over there and seen kind of the whole thing. And we get there a couple times a year. We do the charity race. I'm tight with Mooney and Connie, and we get over the track. And
I'm glad they kept the track.
I am too. But I don't remember if Peyton or Jeff took us around, but kind of gave us the tour. And it really was like, because Moyer was there and all the other people.
Yes.
And we got to the truck shop there, and they were like, yeah, that's so-and-so. And I was like, oh, yeah. He had a shop there in High Point kind of deal. And he goes, hope none of your people were there and didn't get paid. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, it's rumors here too. I'm like, man, so it doesn't sound like you were the only guy who may have been affected by that.
I know. But, I mean, it's well, here's also should have got me thinking that, drivers don't mean that much.
Right.
Because I said, hey, I had a 5-year contract with this.
Oh, wow.
I thought I was going to have to be on a paid vacation.
For 5 years.
Yeah.
Show up with your helmet bag, do your work, and go home.
A couple months in, I was like, I ain't got nothing yet.
Yeah.
And I made a Bill, what's going on? What? I said, well, it's a contract. What are we doing here? I ain't paying you.
What was the reason?
He just says, I ain't going to pay you. I was like, huh? How's that work? So it's right in there,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I get paid. Yeah.
Yeah. And he said, I ain't going to pay. Sue me. I said, okay, I will.
Wow.
Okay, so I got my lawyer.
And you're still driving for him at this time?
No, we're done.
Oh, you're okay. You've
we're
already
done.
parted ways.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
done. And I called my lawyer and get a suit. Sitting there, Corey was a kid. I remember feeding him dinner one night, me and the wife. Phone rings, she gets it. She goes, it's Bill France. Big
Wow.
Bill. Yeah. This is 94. And I was like, how you doing? He's Randy, how you doing? Good. You plan on being around NASCAR a long time? I said, I hope to be. He goes, well, you're not going to be if you sue car owners.
Ooh.
I suggest you don't do that. Have a good night.
Wow. That was it.
Yeah.
Wow. So did you pull your lawsuit?
I never sued him.
Gracious.
Yeah. But then I did. Then I did sue Ed Evans. With he was hooked up with Nemechek in that 7 car, the Clean X car.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be a good deal, but it was a freaking fiasco. Sued him, went to court, won $385,000. I figured, okay, he's going to give me a check right now.
Right.
Yeah, I'm still waiting.
I was going to say, how much of that money have you seen?
Yeah, I'm still waiting.
Yeah, that's the way that whole litigation system works, man.
I'm sure if I lost the case,
Yeah.
I would have to write a check. You know,
Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the heck?
No doubt about
this
it.
stuff's crazy. But
It is. This episode brought to you by Jeff Hill Trailer Sales in Modoc, Indiana. JeffHillTrailerSales.com has got everything you need. Cargo, utility, stacker, full-blown race trailer, whatever you need, Jeff and his crew will get you taken care of. JeffHillTrailerSales.com. Check them out today. This episode brought to you by the 2026 Chili Bowl Nationals. You'll want to find out more, chilibowl.com. There are still tickets available for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and you can buy them online. First time ever, jump on there and get your Chili Bowl tickets. Great seats still remain for the 2026 Chili Bowl Nationals, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 40th anniversary. Don't miss it, chilibowl.com. So you're
95
rideless. You're rideless.
Yes.
You haven't been paid.
Johnny Benson. Well, then I was finally.
The principal just called you and told you not to sue people.
Yeah,
so
yes,
yeah.
yeah, correct.
So how are you feeling about car racing at this point in your life?
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, after I got fired, who calls me? But Dennis Shoemaker, the guy who 64 car.
Yeah.
Duralube car.
Yeah.
Needed a driver. And I said, hey, Dennis, I've been trying to drive for you for 10 years.
Yeah.
And he always said, Randy, I like cup drivers. Well, I was a cup driver for 14 races.
Right. You got.
But I got a chance to drive the 64 car and met Brian Schaefer, smart guy. Ray Turtelot, raced with him up in Stafford Springs, Connecticut. It was a neat team. Dennis is out of right around Dover area. And his wife used to make killer friggin' crab sandwiches. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. They were good.
They must have been good if you guys still got the memory.
We run good as hell. We run good as hell. Never won a race, but we were good as hell.
You were in the hunt.
Yeah. And I hear Benson is getting out for the 74 car, who's leading the championship. Sponsors gone.
Again, Bush. Again, we're back to Bush.
Yeah, back to Bush.
Yeah.
Sponsor's going to be gone, and Johnny's out.
Yeah.
Okay. I get on a horn to Texas.
Your buddy at FINA.
Yep. Call the president up. I said, Mr. Haddock, how are you? This is Randy. Hey, how are you? I said, hey, I could drive the 74 car, which is going to win the championship next year. The sponsor and the driver is gone. We could plug right into there. He goes, Randy, he says, I'm going into a meeting here in a couple hours that I think we're pulling the plug.
Oh, my.
He said, we had a terrible year, 9 drivers. And I said, yeah. I said,
and did you tell him, hey, I warned you about that?
Did I not warn you? He goes, I have thought of that.
Yeah.
I said, okay. I says, see what you can do. See what they want to do. if I could plug into that 74 car.
Yeah.
You guys, they'll love to have you, and we could have a good run. That afternoon, we got a call and said, we're in.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did that change just your whole day, your whole life just changed?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, okay, because Bill Bumgarner, he needed a driver for one race, Rougemont.
Yeah.
So, okay, we go to Rougemont,
Orange County.
Birdie
Yeah.
goes, hey, come up here and drive this thing. Okay. I don't know who, Sprague or something. Okay. So I go haul ass up there. Start third, I think. Get spun out early. Make the lap up under green.
Nice.
And finish fourth.
Wow.
Well, before I got in the car, who meets me? But here comes Bill and the wife and all the kids. And Bill's smoking a pipe. I'm putting my helmet on. He's like, you know, I own this thing. I said, how you doing, sir? Nice to meet you. He goes, I'm going to fire you after this race. I said, so be it.
Yeah.
You know, and I climbed in and got ready.
Yeah.
And after that race, he was hoarse because he's never cheered so hard.
Wow.
He says, if you ever need a job, you call me. So when I got fired from Bill Davis, after I called my lawyer, I says, Bill, I think I could get FINA.
Yeah.
And we could plug it. He goes, that would be wonderful.
Awesome.
And we did. And it was a good run.
All the pieces just came together.
Yeah.
So we win back-to-back Busch championships.
Yep. Which you think when you're doing that, you're going to win 4 or 5 in a row.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
well, you got the momentum.
And then you knew what you were doing, but it was amazing how after my 2, a guy named Dale Jr. come in.
Never heard of him. Yeah. How many you won the 2 back-to-back? How many races did you win during those 2 seasons?
5 apiece each year. We won the championship. And I got 15 total. I should probably, I always say should, but I've left a handful out there.
Haven't we all at some point though?
Jesus, yes. Yeah. But you know, I'm just kind of glad I got to 15.
How confident when you had that FINA deal, you've got your program to go together, you know you guys are going fast. How much more confidence did Randy LaJoie have driving into the racetrack that day, getting out of the hauler that day, putting that fire suit on? How confident were you?
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the left hand knew what the right hand was doing.
Sure.
All the crew guys were in sync.
It really was a team.
Yes, it was. And we maintained that for 2 years.
Sure.
And then the following year, we didn't maintain that.
Wow.
There was somebody else.
What do you think happened?
You know, you got age and attitudes and life changes, you know, and priorities change. Okay, now that was 3 championships for those guys in a row.
Sure.
Okay, I mean, that's hard.
It's
not easy. So I think, you know, priorities change. And now Dale Jr., Kent's have come in with Robbie Reiser's team.
Yeah.
They brought it up 2-3 notches.
Right.
You know, okay, there it goes.
Now you ran the next year.
Oh, yeah, I run 3 more years. I run, I think, 4th in points.
Yeah.
6th in points.
Still strong seasons.
Yeah, no, I had good years. You didn't win as many.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, one year, the last year with Bumgarner, everything just kind of fell apart. You know, cars were getting old, weren't updating a whole lot.
Sure.
You know, okay, you know, and priorities change for people. And okay, you know, why did we broke that this year? Why did we break that?
Yeah, we've never broke one of those before.
Yeah, exactly. You
know, I think that's the time that I remember. The first time I remember when guys talked about mileaging things out.
Correct.
I'd never heard that before. I'd never heard that terminology. And I think I remember an interview with Alan Kowicki talking about, you know, I'm digging out of these dumpsters because these guys are mileaging parts out. I'm putting together. He goes and wins a championship, of course. But, you know, I hear these things. So I guess at some point that stuff really does get worn out. We do kind of have to give into it. And you got teams that may be better funded that can afford to mileage things out maybe
Always
before
will,
you guys.
no matter what. I mean, that's why that created a whole business.
Right.
How many used parts places are around here?
Do you think that when you saw Dale, when you think that you saw Matt come in, do you think that's when the tables got turned at the Busch level and it quit from being, not necessarily, I don't even know that it was still a family sport, but it was still a couple of guys well-funded could still go run some Busch races? Do you think that was the beginning of the end for the mom and pop team?
Yes, definitely. And on one hand, To see what Junior's doing for that series right now with 4 or 5 cars?
Absolutely awesome.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
What would you do for your kids?
Let me ask you a question. What have you done for yours?
Yeah, as much as I could.
Whatever he could.
So, being his kid that was, how many phone calls to make sure he had the best of everything?
Arguably, again, the right last name, but
Yes.
not take anything away from LaJoie. Man, you're a 2-time Busch champion with a pile of wins.
Don't matter. The Big E.
No. Incredible records. All the things that went on there. Surely, when Corey started his career, there's still some connectivity.
Oh,
There's still some friendship. There's still that.
Yeah.
And do you think that Corey maybe had some opportunities because of your relationships?
Up until ARCA.
Yeah.
After ARCA, I've had nothing to do, with how he's managed the last 9 years.
Sure.
And very proud of how he's managed 8 years in the Cup Series, and not drained granddaddies, had plenty of partners, but
He's actually earned it. He's gone and done it.
Yeah. And on the one hand, okay, he's always done better than the guy before him.
Sure.
Up the performance of the car. And it simply amazes me where I've called him the wake-up driver of NASCAR because, at the end of the day, his cars are shit boxes compared to everybody else's. And then when they finally get some money in, and they don't even give him a chance, and they run him out, and the guy they should have run out was running the race.
Sure.
But I'm very proud of the way Corey has handled, his limited. I says, Corey, you're NASCAR's wake-up call. What do you mean? I says, I'll listen to you, and I'll watch you, and I'll watch your lap times. I says, from lap to 1 to lap 30, you don't fall off. Everybody else falls off 5/10. I said, you're always 5/10 off.
Right.
I says, so.
You started and finished there.
Yeah. I was like, so you run the same speed. Where those guys, hell, they just keep dropping off. And I says, you go from 32nd to 20th. And all of a sudden, the guy in 20th, because I'll be watching lap times. So I said, okay, he has a chance to catch these guys.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the guy picks up 3/10. And I was like the Dave Marcus and Joe Bessie was like that. Hell,
Sure.
you catch them and they drive away from you. And you're like, wait a second. I'm leading this damn race and you just drove away from me. That car's a pretty damn good car.
Yeah, really good car.
Yeah. And I was like, Corey, that happens so much.
Yeah.
I said, you're running with your tongue hanging out as fast as you can go. And that guy just gasses it up and drives away from you.
So through his, and where I really remember seeing or remembering or hearing the name Corey LaJoie was that K&N deal.
Okay.
That's the first time I really, it just made sense to me. Where did you start, Corey? Where did he get started? What was his program?
Let's see, 2011 maybe. Robert Yates shut down his Busch team.
Yeah.
Bruce Cook run it. They sold it to Jermaine.
Oh, yep.
Okay, the truck team on the Onions. They were going to go Busch racing for some reason, whatever. Well, they changed some of them to Toyotas. So I happened to see Bruce Cook somewhere, and I said, hey, I think I want to run Corey later in the year at K&N. Go to Thompson. And he says, hell, he goes, there's a good Ford across the shop across the street, he says. One that they bought from Yates. We walked over there, sure enough, there's under a cover, sitting there, about 10 of them, different cars in a warehouse. So I go back over, see Mike Hill, his senior, the old man. I said, Mike, I said, I want to get Corey, get one in there. Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, you need to start doing that. I said, hey, that Ford you got across the way over there. I said, what are you doing with it? Because I ain't got no Ford over there. I says, the one from Yates that's sitting over there, he goes, Randy, all cars I have from Yates, I turned into Toyotas. If there's a Ford over there, you can have it.
Easy enough.
I went home and got my trailer. Come back, we loaded this Ford up.
Wow.
We came back the following week. They were heading out truck racing. And I went back the next week. I had a list of stuff. He goes, what's that, Randy? I says, you know that Ford you didn't have? He says, yeah. I says, you have brakes for it? Do you have windshield braces? Do you? I had a whole list of everything we missed.
Yeah.
He goes, let's look around. You know, we did find some stuff.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. And so that was our first K&N car. Bought the motor from Whalen. That was Teddy Marsh. Yep, the Whalen car. Corey drove it. Where did he drive it? New Hampshire. Drove the Whalen car in New Hampshire. Teddy was doing something different. I bought that motor, which was a Team Dillon motor. And we always had 2 motors. I bought a brand new one from Yates over there, the spec engine shop. When we went racing, we had a great year. I mean, he won the championship, and they took it away from us, point blank. They say we were cheating with a carburetor, and it did have a hole that's I'd never seen, but it's also a 3-year-old inspected carburetor, probably 10 times. You know, we didn't change that metering block, and I guess I didn't present a good enough case, you know, and then he lost the championship by 6 points, and they took 25 from him.
Gracious.
Yeah, and it was devastating as hell for me.
Sure.
I mean,
for him as well.
I'm sure. You know, just terrible. I mean, he know he won the fucking championship.
Right.
I was a little hot. To say
A little?
Yeah.
I've seen you hot a couple times. A couple trade shows I've seen you hot at, but not often.
Yeah, I was hot. I happened to be at SEMA, and I let the guys know what I really thought of them.
Nice.
And I gave them my license. That's the last one I'm ever going to buy. It's this one right here, and I handed it to them.
Wow.
That was 2012, and I haven't bought one since.
Sure.
But Mike's been good enough to hand me them every year.
When you need
Randy,
yeah.
he goes, I'm going to give you one just so I could take it away.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just peel them back.
Hell.
Yeah.
So, I mean, anyways, the worst case was, 6 months after the series is over, Robert Yates calls me and goes, Randy, we got a problem. He goes, meet me down at NASCAR today, 4 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
I said, okay, no problem. I show up. He shows up. We walk in. Mike Houghton's there. And Mike and him are
now,
good
are you
buds.
guys going to Conover, or where are we going?
Right here in the R&D, Concord.
Okay. Yep.
And he said, what do you guys got? And Robert has a carburetor box.
Yeah.
So we go in, and Robert had called him. So Helton had his inspector go get my carburetor. Got it down, spread it all out. Robert Yates comes in, opens the box. Mike Helton puts his glasses on. So, what do you got, Robert? He goes, brand new, out of the box. Put it down, took it apart. There was a hole.
Same place.
Yes. He goes, there's no reason for it. He goes, that's what they told me. Just happens sometimes.
Wow.
And Helton took his glasses, put them back in his pocket. And I said, Mike, my kid's a fucking champion.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got time. He's young.
Oh, wow.
He goes, it ain't going to change nothing. Yeah, it changes. My kid's a champion. There it is right there. He did nothing wrong.
Yeah, we talked about that on another show where calls are made. Maybe we don't know why the call's made the way the call is made. And sometimes there's an appeal process. Do you feel like sometimes, you guys have been on both sides of that, do you feel like sometimes that appeal process is really a waste of time? Or maybe it really is not much of an appeal at all?
Yeah, it's. I thought we presented a good case.
Sure.
You know, still didn't change it.
Yeah.
So that was that. So
now I'm going to touch on something here. And again, remember, we're not live.
Yeah.
So I did a bunch of research on you. You had another bump in with NASCAR more recently. Did you have something that went on with the substance abuse deal?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was spotting.
So what was that about? So, and here's the thing, we're gonna get it from the horse's mouth instead of the speculation.
Yeah,
so,
correct. Yeah. I was spotting. I was retired. Joe Gibbs called me. He said, "Hey, we need a spotter. Not Gibbs, but who runs that program?" Oh Jesus, I can see him. He's been there.
I try my
Yes.
best to stay out of the radial tire stuff, but
correct.
yeah.
Well, so anyways,
I sling dirt, Randy.
he calls me and says, hey, I need a spotter. I said, sure. Coleman kid from Texas.
Yep,
Okay, I paid you this much. Okay, we'll get you a license. Yeah, no problem.
sure.
It's okay. We go do the license.
And this is what year?
Oh, I don't fuck if I know. Or whatever, maybe 2010.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so we go spotting a couple races.
Yeah.
In between there's a Charlotte race, and our church was driving around all the people. We had we shuttle all the people around.
Sure.
Loved doing it. It was a great thing for the church and great thing for Speedway. So I got to see people I usually don't see by hanging out and driving around people.
Yeah.
And end of the night, late, and hauling a bunch of guys down here at campground. They smoking dope. You want something? Sure. Yeah, okay. They called me in for a blood test next day. Piss test.
Oh, wow.
The next day.
Are these people that you knew? You think you were set up?
No. These are all just race fans.
Just fate and chance.
Just fate. Yeah, that's right. So the guy calls me a week later. He goes, hey, Randy, how you doing? Good. Dr. such and such from, wherever. I said, yeah. He goes, we got problems. What do you got? And he says, well, codeine. I said, okay, had my hip replaced.
Yeah.
Here's my okay.
Prescription, yeah.
He says, marijuana. I said, oh, yeah. I said, oh, yeah. I would think there should be some in there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we got to do a program. Okay, so hell did it.
So what does a program entail? What does that include?
It was a 3-month, twice a week. You got to go pee.
Okay.
Or randoms.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, whatever. After that, clean, you're good. See you later. So once I got reinstated, it was only 3 months afterwards.
Yeah.
I called Jim France. And I said, hey, Jim, no, not Jim Hunter. I called Jim Hunter. And I said, Jim, how about, is there a way? I was like, when you guys expelled me, I said, you see that I got back in, right?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah. I says, when you expelled me, it was on every Tinker tape.
They made sure everybody knew.
Yeah. I was like, well, we never done that before. I says, well, can you start?
Yeah. Yeah. Let them know I'm good. I'm clean. I'm back to work.
Correct.
Everything's good. Yeah.
And ever since then they have.
Wow.
So Jim Hunter.
Did they put it back that you were reinstated as well?
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. It was all good. Yeah. ESPN didn't take me back. Damn it. It cost me $100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, oh, we're going to suspend you too. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. I said, hope they don't piss test none of those ESPN guys.
Yeah, no doubt.
You had they need the Scott Bloomquist friggin' stainless steel cup.
You're saying that Scott may have what? Yeah. Okay. Well, man, that's kind of unfortunate. I think there was a whole kind of run of that sort of went down there for a stretch of years. I think they even had to suspend some of their own people, some of their own family because of things like that.
It is what it is.
Right on. But, okay. All right. Good deal, man. Well, we'd rather hear it from you
Cruise
than
right through it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, but then, I say, okay, all your life, you grow up doing tests.
Yeah.
But they let you study for the test.
You didn't get to study for that one?
No.
So, yeah, we actually had a guy apply here for a job. And I asked him, I said, back here in the screen print shop, I said, can you pass a drug test? He says, I can, but I'm going to need about 30 days to study for that real good. So,
correct.
Yeah,
you got to be able to study for a test.
So, yeah, we gave him some time. It worked out. It was all right. So, yeah.
Is he still here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
You met him earlier, so, yeah.
Okay.
Velocita-USA, the world's greatest driving suit. Lighter, faster, better than what you're wearing. Suits, gloves, chutes, helmets, head and neck restraint, everything for your safety program in one location. Check us out online, velocita-usa.com. Give us a call, 336-764-8502. Drive fast, take chances. For all your rodeo and Western lifestyle apparel, check out rocket-donkey.com. That's Rocket Donkey Apparel. You'll see these folks all over the place. You'll even pick them up at the Chili Bowl Nationals. They've got trade show booths at virtually every barrel race in America. Check them out online, rocket-donkey.com. Hey guys, this part of the show brought to you in part by EasySponsorships.com. If you're looking for sponsorship for your race car and running into dead ends and closed doors everywhere, check out EasySponsorships.com and learn from the super sponsor man, Claude Hagerty. He will show you how to find money to go racing.
Okay.
All right, so let's see here. So you've had your run-ins with NASCAR, obviously, between you and Corey both.
Yeah. 2023,
how shocked were you to get the call that you're one of 75 greatest from 2023? NASCAR, the people who've called you and told you not to sue drivers, the people who suspended you for substance abuse, and the people who took your kids' championship away, now you're top 75.
Well, now there's another one, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Okay. 1997.
Okay.
Second championship.
Yep.
Monday night. Get Bill France giving me my championship jacket.
Yeah.
Leather jacket. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Right? NASCAR champion. Brings my wife up, gives her a beautiful necklace.
Yeah.
Monday night. So, okay, Atlanta was still the Cup finale.
Okay.
So they brought all drivers that won this Nationals Series into Atlanta Friday. Sunday, Monday, we're taking pictures. They didn't know who was going to be the champion, Terry or somebody else.
Sure.
So Monday, we're having pictures. And they brought us in. They treated us like kings. We had a couple meetings and this and that. So Saturday morning, we go to the track, had a breakfast deal. We leave. I said, heck, it was ARCA race or something. I said, I'm going back. It's raining. I ain't got to do nothing until about 4 o'clock. I go back. I walking into the hotel, paid by NASCAR. So here comes Mr. France and 2 of his Goombas, and I got my championship jacket on. So I open the door. I'm looking at him, and he looks at me. He says, how you doing? You're a race fan? You here for the weekend?
Who says this to you?
Bill France.
So you're the
Monday night.
You're the Busch champion.
With my jacket, proud as hell.
That he put on
my
you.
chest out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you talk about getting kicked in the galloons.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, wow. So, didn't sleep much in a nap. Kind of mad, Had to go to dinner, and okay, we did all that. Went back to the bar. I had a good time in the bar the night before.
I've
met a bunch
seen
of
you have a
racers.
good time in the bar.
I read a book on one.
I may have actually paid for some of your bar fun before.
It could have been. A lot of people have.
Yeah.
So, go back to the bar. I say, hey, can I charge this to my room?
Oh, God.
They're like, sure. Okay.
I can only know where this is going.
Well, the end of the night, there was a lot of nice people.
Yeah.
The bill was, I don't know, close to 40 some odd, $4,200, I'll say.
Good gracious.
Yes. And I was like, you know what? 74, 0, 0. Room number, signed my name. Well, the bartender looked at that and gave him a $3,000 tip.
Oh, nice.
Oh, great. They still, if I see them,
I
was
bet.
the bartender.
I remember you. Yeah.
And I never once got a call.
Wow.
So he might, I was hoping, I was going to tell him, well, you might not know who I am.
Yeah.
But I was pretty damn thirsty.
Yeah, exactly. So were my friends.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's okay. You kind of get it.
Just a Busch guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just a Saturday guy. And that's hey, Sunday is, like I said, here I'm a 3-time Busch champ. Well, NASCAR champion, 1 up north, 2 down here.
Sure.
It don't mean shit unless you race on Sunday.
Yeah.
But
I've heard that.
Yeah.
And a lot of good guys. We've had a lot of talent come through Busch, and obviously you were no shortage of that. So when did you quit? When was the last time we raced? When you were like, man, we're done? I'm
06.
06.
06.
And why?
I already knew at the end of 05, Harvick comes up to me.
And what are we doing 05, 06? What are we racing then?
I go back to CC, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I went back to CC, but then I didn't have a whole lot to do. So Harvick comes up to me. He says, hey, I need you to do me a favor. What do you got? He goes, 9 races next year, so I ain't going to be able to practice and qualify. He goes, I need you to do it for me. I says, you think?
In the Bush car?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the 21 Coast Guard car.
Yeah.
I was like, really? He goes, yeah. I was like, I ain't going to fit. He goes, go on a diet. I said, okay, I could probably do that.
That would be Kevin. He's pretty candid.
Yeah.
So
So I said, well, okay. So I went, got in his car, and I fit.
nice.
Yeah, here's a,
With no diet?
yeah.
Even better.
Here's like a 215 guy.
Yeah.
What's Kevin, 175?
Yeah, soaking wet with rocks in his pockets.
And I was like, okay. So I said, Kevin, that seat don't fit you worth of shit. Why not? Because it almost fits me.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't fit me worth, so okay. Got it to fit. We went. He won 6 of the races,
Nice.
run second in one of them.
With that bad to the bone Randy LaJoie practice and setup. Yeah.
And he should have won the other ones, going for the lead and got crashed.
Yeah.
End of that year, had a great time with those guys.
Yeah.
And I really seen the level that they were at.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Premium.
Yes. I was like, wow, these guys are way the hell away ahead of where we were. I was like, wow. And went to see Richard. At the end of the year, he thanked me and he said, hey, the guys loved you. Hey, we won the championship. Thanks. And I said, Richard, I need 10 races next year. I said, you give me 10 races, I'll win half of them. I said, with that car and that team right there.
That caliber.
Yes. I said, you plug me into that car, you give me 10, I'll win 5. He goes, Randy, I wish I could. He goes, but hell, I can't sell a 35-year-old.
Wow.
And here I'm 43, 44.
Gracious.
I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
So, okay. Does cost some money to do this stuff.
At what point do you think, because when I was a kid, when you were a kid, you hadn't earned the right to be in Cup till you were 40 years old and well seasoned.
Correct.
When do you think that changed? Do you think we saw that with Jeff? Who do you think?
Probably. Then, we've always had pay to play.
Sure.
Bobby Hillen.
Right.
Right. There was always Eddie Fishtail, Eddie Burschwell. We've always had 5 or 6 guys, the old Helen Ray Carr.
Yep.
Phil Barkdahl. They always had money, and old Texan junkyard man, H.B. Bailey.
Yep.
We always had guys, that filled in. But now, Jesus, it's.
Where do you think that transition was? Where do you think we saw that hey, we're going to put this 22-year-old kid in the car. We're going to put this 19-year-old kid. We're going to put this 26-year-old kid in the car.
Kids have 10 years experience at 22. It's crazy.
It's almost like they had to start sooner. I couldn't start until I was 8. They didn't have anything for us.
I didn't start until I was, had to be 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, to start. Okay, well, whichever. But, I've been to 180 racetracks. And when they're all the same size when you put that window net up.
Sure.
And some of them do a really, really good job. And it's amazing to see, like this Zillage kid.
Connor's unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing to watch. I'm glad we
got
get to
a bunch
watch
of
it.
him, Caden Honeycutt, man. I know.
Correct.
Yeah, Hocevar. There's so many. And here's the thing about it. We bring these up, and all these kids are in premium rides. They obviously have opportunities both where they're at and obviously financial opportunities would be the easiest way to say that. Where would Super Shoe be if he'd have been given the same opportunities? The last name had been a little different, and the checkbook would have been there. Where would we see Corey today?
When he is plugged in, he's been as good or better than anybody I've ever seen.
Sure.
When he's plugged in.
Hence the name. I remember the first time you called him Super Shoe. I was like, the hell?
Yeah. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
But life throws curveballs.
Right on. So we get out of the seat in 06. For folks from the old school, and a lot of our listeners are old school guys, they're going to remember all the stuff back in the day. New school folks, a lot of guys that we see, even last weekend at the dirt track, have no idea that you ever raced at all.
No clue.
You're the seat guy.
Yeah, you're seat guy.
Where did the seat thing come up? When did that happen? What got you into that? What was the motivation?
94. NASCAR came to me and said, we cannot use your fiberglass seat anymore.
Oh, wow.
Now, the fiberglass
94, you're still in a fiberglass seat?
Yes.
Okay.
My dad had purchased one from Mark Donahue in 1971, the year before he got killed. Mark did. We were at the Hartford Civic Center trade show, and my dad said, well, that looks like a comfortable seat. You can sit in it. that thing is beautiful. He said, hell, I build them, I'll send you one. I'll sell you one. So my dad got it, and it wouldn't fit into the modified, so he cut the headrest off, and he shortened the legs up. And
now, you need to explain. We're not talking about headrest. We're talking about back of the seat.
Back of the seat.
Because there wasn't no headrest.
No, well, this car had one.
You and I, the short pup.
Well, no, not even. This one had, Mark was way ahead of his time.
Wow.
He had a full headrest for rear and side impacts.
Interesting.
Yeah.
In 71.
1.
Wow.
Yeah. So my old man waxed that off. Wax the front of the seat off, right about your mid thigh.
Sure.
Okay, it'll fit in there now.
Yeah.
Well, and then I started driving, 78. No, let's see, I was 18. Yeah, 78, 79. He said, just use that seat. I was about the same size.
Yeah.
185 pounds. And that's the only seat I knew. And then a couple guys at Danbury said, hey, come drive my car. I can't figure out what's the matter with it.
Yeah.
And they had a standard ribbed seat.
Sure.
And hell, I go into the corner and turn left, and my whole upper body wanted to go out the right side window. I was like, how in the hell did these guys do it? I could never figure that out. And everybody just made fun of the seat because it was a bathtub. It was, always had them white. My dad had them made up. A guy out of Stamford, Connecticut made them up. And hell, he would sell. Let me try one. That's nice. Corky Cookman would run them, and Ronnie Silkwell, which that seat today is in 95% of the Northeast or modified cars up there.
Wow.
That we have that's our pretty good market up there.
Yeah.
And we've helped that division up there a lot.
So the Joie of Seating was born what year? What would you call it? What would you say?
94. 94. I started testing.
Sure. When did you build your first set of seats? When's the first guy that you had no idea who he was called you up and says, hey, Randy, I want to buy a seat? Walked in the door, ordered a seat.
I found my first bill of sales that I wrote out. It was 97, 98. Mike Dillon, customer. Michael Waltrip.
Yep.
Later was Amick, Jason Keller.
Wow.
Timmy Fedua. The Onion. They were the first.
So those guys, but you had some rapport and some relationship with those guys. They knew you from
Correct.
the garage, the whole deal.
Yeah.
So early in your career, well, even early in your Busch career, you weren't in a full containment seat. That didn't exist.
Fiberglass.
Yeah, it didn't exist, right?
No, it was fiberglass. Nobody had a shoulder supported seat.
Sure.
Everybody dabbled with headrest, but I never had a headrest on my seat. I always had one behind my head to go backwards.
Yeah.
And to hold my head up, we used to have a strap that went around your arm.
And the little D-ring. Yeah.
And you hook it to your helmet.
Yep.
And, so it wouldn't allow your helmet to go over center.
But you still were holding yourself up in the seat because we didn't have shoulders.
But I wasn't. And I still couldn't hold my head up.
Yeah.
But once I got out of the, I never left the shoulder seat. I was always that wrap around. I said, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know how these other guys do it. And I think that was a huge advantage. And it fit my ass.
Yeah.
My hips and all of that.
I was going to say, what makes your seat so unique? Because I look at other brands of seats, we'll just leave it at that, and everybody's seat really looks alike. Some guys weld prettier. Some guys have cute headrests. Some guys have neat covers. Some guys have cool powder coating. Some guys have neat names, whatever it may be. Yeah. But when I look at your seat, it is uniquely different. What is different about your seat than everybody else's?
It is stamped. I put a round plug and a round hole. If you look at the bottom of seats, it's a milk crate.
Sure.
The guys are sitting in a damn milk crate. Well, mine, it forms to your hips. You got hip pockets in it. So your hips kind of fit in the pocket. Everything is a whole lot better safety-wise, number-wise, when you secure the hips.
Sure.
So there's always a pocket. You laugh like hell. You see people take their covers off of a dirt car in somebody else's seat.
Right.
And hell, there's 2.5 inches of dirt in areas that are not sat in.
Sure. Voids, right.
Yeah. So what is that in 10 years? That's a friggin' chiropractor visit.
Yeah.
So, okay, I can keep you a whole lot comfortable. A lot of guys have all put containment seats on them. That's you have to have. But what's one of the things that a whole industry now is insert stuff.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how do you combat the insert? Because a guy can get, honestly, a crappy fitting seat.
Correct.
He can go see, one of the guys that we know who does that stuff. He can get foamed in his seat. Why do you feel that you have a mechanical advantage over the foam?
I've talked to engineers and I said, okay, what is the deal with foam? Everybody got to get it or not? And they said, well, if you're over 4% body fat, you pad the feel. I said, what do you mean by pad the feel? Because some guys' back might stick out. Some guys, you can just kind of pad the area that needs it.
Yeah, and we're talking 4% body fat. You're talking extreme athlete.
Not many of them run dirt tracks.
Very few. It's funny.
Yeah. And I carried enough for padding for 3 seats. So
Rambo told me years ago when I first started running dirt late models, he said, Brad, you know what power steering and LaJoie seats have done to dirt racing? I said, what? He said, it's made fat guys like me and you competitive. I said, you're exactly right, Rambo. So, yeah. But, you and I had a conversation because I had called you, I don't know, last year sometime. We were talking about seat stuff, and I asked you about foam. You said, I don't know. I don't have to foam my seat. It fits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and without hesitation. I don't even think you took a breath before you said that. So you feel pretty passionately about the way that your seat fits is the way to go.
Absolutely. I mean, the funniest thing is when somebody sits in my seat, they're like, oh. And it's a wonderful sigh.
Sure.
And then I was like, yeah, what's wrong with that?
Right.
Oh, how much is it? Oh, God.
Isn't that crazy, man? It's like everybody's worried about price. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what did you just said when you sat down?
Yeah.
I said, how many times did you ever get to sit in the race car and do that?
Right.
I mean, hell, I always did.
If you're comfortable, you can do your job.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You would think a little better. Yeah.
Yeah. And now, what is and you guys do the SFI seats as well, correct?
Oh, yeah.
How much difference is there really between a pro level dirt late model seat that's not and SFI rated seat? How much difference is there in that seat? And is the SFI seat that much safer?
Absolutely.
What makes it safer?
The SFI 39.1, which NASCAR come out with.
Sure.
2011.
Okay.
Everybody had to pass the spec. It's 100G impact.
Good gracious.
They've seen those.
Yeah.
It's okay. And what that meant was, when they pushed on this seat, 2,000 pounds on your headrest. It cannot move more than 1/4 of an inch, and it has to come back. 3,000 pounds on your shoulder. It cannot move more than 1/2 an inch, and it has to come back. And 4,000 pounds on your hip, 90 degrees. So it was a 90-degree impact.
Wow.
And it's a very nice seat. It's a very strong seat. It has now been put to a minimum weight because mine were lighter.
Yeah, that seat's very heavy, or the new ones are. What does that seat have to weigh?
42 pounds.
Gracious, that's a big seat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've had to just add a bunch more tubing.
Right.
But I still passed the test, but I have to make the weight. So when we did that in 2009, 2008 for 2011 series, the whole industry was in on this. Every seat manufacturer
was doing it.
And we said, hey, why don't we put one in for the short trackers? Just cut that load in half.
Yeah.
Okay. No problem. So we've been pushing that way for 3 or 4 years. It's in a bunch of damn rule books that 2025 was supposed to have certified seats. No, it never came on a dirt track.
Never happened. Yeah.
And it's sad because it's going backwards, and the couple seats that came in just passed the spec. So all you got to do is pass the spec.
Right.
It's a good spec. It's a good seat. And then if you have a sticker on the seat, perfect example last week. Crazy. At the dirt track. I've been pushing for certified seats for years, and I'm not going to stop. So I said, guys, it'll be easier to inspect if you got a certification on it.
Yeah, you just look and see.
Yeah, that's right. And I don't know, 4 or 6 months ago, maybe 6 months ago, I'm watching racing on Dirt Vision, and one of the kids in a World of Outlaw car, he's got a brand new containment seat, one of Fergie's victory seats.
Yeah.
And I noticed that the headrest and the shoulder rest are not connected. I can see the holes where you're supposed to bolt a piece of tubing in there to hold them together.
But he had obviously not done that.
Yeah, it gives it some strength. You know, it went on for 6 months. It was here at the Charlotte Dirt Track. So I picked up Francis. I said, Steve, you got a second? Yeah. So I brought him down to Ferguson's booth to see his headrest, see how they connected.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah. I said, okay. Drive over to the 22 car. I says, look at that. So he walks over. He goes, it's not connected. And the driver says, well, you're not driving the damn thing.
Wow. Tell Steve Francis that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I probably would have had a different response.
Sure.
Because Steve didn't have one.
Why you're not the World of Outlaws director, by the way.
Correct. But Steve grabbed the headrest and it moved probably 3-4 inches. And he says, hey, this son of a bitch got 1.5 inch crack in it over there.
Oh, wow.
That's just because the thing's been flopping around for 6 months.
Yeah.
I said, number one, the seat's not strong enough, even if it was bolted together. That's why we need certifications.
Sure.
You know.
So, and you know, obviously, I'm on the safety side of things too. You watch me every weekend.
right.
I watch you every weekend. That's the thing, man. There's always going to be guys that are going to stretch it. They're going to cheat the rule. They're going to pull past it, this, that, and the other. And I don't know that SFI has all the solutions. Obviously, Michael and his people do a great job, but they can't test for all the variables. And again, if the product's not used or installed correctly in your application,
That's right.
in my application, if it's not washed, worn correctly, it's the same thing. Kind of all bets are off. We got to have a spec. We got to have a standard. The drivers do need to follow that. But so how did that situation end with Steve? Did he just walk away and let him go?
He didn't have it on his car. He run third Saturday night.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
This episode brought to you in part by Schoenfeld Headers, Van Buren, Arkansas, all the way back to Daddy Schoenfeld, building the best headers for all types of racing. If you need headers for your race cars, SchoenfeldHeaders.com. Check them out online or at any of their thousands of retailers nationwide. This episode brought to you by Bassett Racing Wheels. Whether you're looking for a 15-inch inertia wheel, rolled edge, armor edge protection, whatever it is that you need, DOT, IMCA, Bassett Racing Wheel has you covered. Bassett Racing Wheels is the leader in short track wheels nationwide. BassettWheels.com for all your racing wheel needs. This portion of our show brought to you by Woodleaf Raceway Park, right on Facebook. Check out the world's greatest dirt go-kart track with a focus on kids and family. They have go-karted go-kart racing. Jeff Freeman and his staff work tirelessly to make sure your kids are safe and having a great time. Check them out on Facebook at Woodleaf Raceway Park. So, you know, you actually were there. It was May. I think it was around May 10th or so. It was race week at Charlotte, which is always May. Yeah. And our group opened up for the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. And me and Fergie and Sessoms from South Carolina, who doesn't race anymore, 3 wide for the lead on the first lap. I got pinched in the middle and I flipped. I was in your seat.
Yeah.
End over end 7 times. I always heard when it gets quiet, you know it's going to get bad. Boy, that was not a lie. You know, the first couple 3 or 4 pirouettes in the air, I was like, this is not so bad. But let me tell you what, when it made contact with that brown stuff, it sucked. It sucked. And honestly, I walked away. We actually raced the next night at 311. It was just a regular Saturday night show. But that kind of was the first time I'd ever had to really put a seat to the test. Another one, a story that I tell all the time. You may not remember this. I was at the dirt track. You were coming. You weren't there yet. It's before we had the short track deal and the World of Outlaws deal. You were at the shop. And I had a kid come over and he was looking at a helmet. He's like, man, I got to have the lightest helmet in the world to do my job. I was like, really? I said, you know what? I got a friend I want to ask about this. And I messaged you or we FaceTime or something. I said, you at the shop? He said, yeah. I said, you got one of your old Bush helmets there? And he goes, yeah, you know I do. I said, put it on the scale. And you sent me, it's like 8 pounds or 7.5 pounds. I said, what brand of full containment seat were you using when you wore that helmet? You said, I wasn't. I said, so you held yourself up in the car for 250 or 300 laps? Yeah. And you didn't die? No. And you said, what bad brand? What is all this about? I said, I got a kid here telling me he's got to have the lightest helmet in the world. You said, tell the kid to get a gym membership.
Correct.
I died, man. That was one of the best ones ever. So we do see some of that. And we do know that technology has come a long way. And we like to laugh and joke about it. But we do see so many people turn a blind eye to safety. You got the same passion for it that I do. We do, sometimes we may offer our opinions where people don't ask, but I think it's because we really do care about the guys out there racing. Here's the thing. There are racers out there that we probably aren't the biggest fan of, but neither one of us want to see them hurt.
Well,
ever.
I mean, that's, that goes back to the Backgate 500,
Sure.
Short Track World Championship. There are 480 cars there.
Right.
I go to every one.
Are you which part of the event? The motocross event, the stunt show,
No,
the car race, or the demolition derby? Because we had all four.
Race.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And I go to every car.
Sure.
And say, hey, now it's a little different. When I first started doing it, I would probably cuss them and say they're a dumbass.
I'd say with a little motivation, we could get you there now.
Yeah, correct. It won't take much.
Yeah.
But I give them a card, and I said, you could be safer.
Sure.
What do you mean? You did it for 20 years. Exactly.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the mentality right there.
That's right. And then, I don't need none of that. I don't. Okay. It's mentally draining.
Believe me, I'm right there,
for
brother.
2 days because I'm just trying to help you.
Sure.
Yes, I got a beautiful product. Yes, I'm trying to sell it to you. But I'm telling you, what you got is not good.
Yeah, proof is in the pudding kind of thing. So, and I think that's a question. It's a rhetorical question. How is it that we in the industry, and not just you and I, but there's several others that feel the same way that we do, how do we educate the racer? How do we let them know that you're missing the bar? And here's the thing. How do we give them some kind of credibility so that they don't honestly think you're trying to sell them a seat, I'm trying to sell them a suit, I'm trying to sell them a helmet, we're trying to sell them a head and neck restraint, gloves, shoes, whatever that is. But, we spend a tremendous amount of time and money. We pre-test and test outside of SFI because I want to know.
You have to.
I don't just want to go with what they say, which is fine. I want to see, okay, how does it go when we go beyond that? They don't test with accelerants. We burn stuff with gas. We burn stuff with oil, power steering fluid, transmission fluid, brake fluid. Because you know what?
That's there.
As long as you've been there your whole life, you've never seen anybody spontaneously combust. I haven't either. So I want to find out what happens when these things happen. Same thing with you. You're twisting seats, you're crushing seats, you're doing things. And one of the interesting things I remember, and I don't know, I wasn't there this year, Tyler Siri wreck. God, I hope Tyler's doing well because he took a nasty wreck. But I remember the night that I wrecked at Charlotte, when that car got back over there, and I remember looking over there and seeing Tom, my crew chief, this, that, and the other. The next set of eyes I saw were Randy LaJoie's eyes. You want to see what the hell happened.
Oh, absolutely.
How is that seat? What does my stuff look like? Are you okay? That kind of stuff. I see that. You don't see that from a guy who's just trying to take your check.
Correct. I mean, if it happens once, it can happen again. And if it happened once and the individual got hurt, let's not let it happen again.
Let's figure out why that individual got hurt.
You ain't kidding.
Absolutely.
And that's something that, we know the less movement of the driver is better for that person. Okay. I'm surprised. I think the greatest thing, one of the coolest things that come out for these sprint cars is that chasm system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it because I got the reports. I've seen what it does. And it could save somebody's life.
Sure.
It could make somebody walk.
Right.
It could, if Kevin Swindell had that, where would he be?
It all.
If
who knows?
Brad Doty had that, where would he be?
Sure.
So if my son raced a sprint car, midget, micro, he would have that system.
Yeah.
I think the positives outweigh the negatives.
Sure.
So that's great for the sprint cars because they're just so screwed up, from day one.
Right.
You got to push them. They're broke already.
Yeah,
you got to push them, start them.
So talking about the chasm system, what do you see? What's the future for the Joie of Seating? What do you see next? What does the evolution of seats look like? And what does the evolution of your business and plan look like?
Well, the all belts to seat, which NASCAR has been running probably since 2017, 18.
Okay, say that again. And I need you to explain that because everybody doesn't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. All belts to seat. It's called an ABTS seat. Your lap belts, your crotch belts, your thigh belts, your shoulder belts are connected to the seat. We had to change the rule for mounts because the first test, the mounts were failing. The seats were so good.
Tremendous amount of pressure on that.
Oh my goodness! They pull the seat belts. You mount it into the fixture. They pull the seat belts. They pull your shoulder belts, 10,000 pounds, 8,500 pounds your lap belts. 4,000 pounds on your substrap, and the seat can't move 3/8 of an inch.
Sure.
Yeah, and it's nice because the belt is short, very short stretch. The angles are right.
Right.
But you have to mount it in the vehicle a proper way. You can't mount it, you can't mount it a foot away. You got to mount it right next to the load point. That load point is carrying a lot of stuff now. So, you got to look into what load brackets. So I think a lot of the seats down the road are all going to be all belts to seat.
Are you guys working on that technology more for the Saturday night guys yet?
Yeah, absolutely. Which, I mean, we've had that, since they mandated it.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, now we got to turn.
But
that
they
100
mandated that
hit.
over on the radial tire side, not
Yes,
the Saturday night.
That
world.
was any NASCAR, the Cup cars, the Xfinity cars, or car parts car, whatever the hell they call them, the Truck Series, the ARCA Series. All of those series now got to run a rated seat, that 39.1, with all the belts in it.
Yeah.
And that's coming to the short tracks.
Okay.
Not quick enough, but it's going to come.
Is that going to be a huge swing? You think? Is that going to take a $2,000 seat and make it a $5,000 seat?
It'll definitely raise the cost.
Sure.
It'll make that $2,000 seat a $3,500 seat.
Okay.
Which they're $3,500 seats that don't meet the spec out there.
Absolutely.
And people are selling the hell out of them, which is, well, at least they're giving them away.
Sure.
But
they're showing up in the marketplace.
Correct.
Yes.
So where are we going? Well, Corey happened to buy Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s carbon fiber shop out.
Really?
Yeah. So
Okay.
he's setting that up as we speak.
Nice.
They are making parts already.
In Concord?
Yeah.
Right on.
At my shop.
Okay. So wait. He's moved all that stuff to your shop.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah.
It's big news.
Yeah. We probably weren't ready for it.
Yeah.
So until we make room, we're a couple months out of getting where he's finished.
Sure.
But they kind of took over. But that happens. And he and NASCAR NASCAR just printed us a 3D seat.
Wow.
For the short tracks. It's nice.
Huh.
A lot of what we got already. We're going to use them for a lot of the testing.
Have we done any testing with the 3D stuff yet?
Yeah. No, not yet. But that's, Corey's going to build a carbon seat through his Stack and Penny composites. Yeah. And Joie of Seating will probably be a dealer for that.
Nice.
Yeah, and it might not be for everyone.
Yeah.
My all belts to seat aluminum rated seat is probably about $5,000, and that one's probably going to be 10.
Sure.
But certain people like carbon fiber just because.
Just because it's carbon fiber.
Correct.
Yeah.
But it's going to be. I messed around with one 10 years ago, and it wasn't with the right guy.
You and I talked about that actually. I think I may have even sold one or two of them for you back in the day. And
it wasn't the right guy, and then he backplayed all of my molds and stuff. And,
sure.
But that's okay. He can still hunt and fish at the same time.
We live and learn, don't we?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus, yes.
Yeah, we live and learn. So carbon fiber's coming down.
Yeah.
All belts to seats coming down. Okay. Yeah. So all belts to seats coming down. Carbon fiber's coming down. Obviously, you're still passionate about it. Even today, you're still in the shop every single day. You're welding, cutting, grinding, answering the phones.
No, I'm welding, not welding.
Yeah.
You want something to look pretty. I could weld steel. Well, I used to could, and then I tried it the other day, and I missed the damn crack. I welded the greatest bead right next to it.
Right beside it.
What the hell?
That's all right. So you're still in the shop then. How about that?
Yes.
And
playing granddad.
There you go.
I enjoy playing granddad.
There's no better job than that, is there?
5 year, 5.5, 3.5, 1.5.
Yeah.
6 months.
Wow.
Another one in the belly. 4 boys right now.
Man.
Oh my goodness.
So are these future racers at Filler Stadium?
Hey, now the Levi, oldest, Corey shows up to the North-South Shootout.
Yeah.
And they're having a pedal race.
Nice.
And the lady says, hey, I got 2 cartons ready. Go ahead, kids. You want to go jump in? Yeah. So Levi goes, jumps in one, and Jensen goes, jumps in the other one. Green flag. Well, little Hirschman gave his daughter a push.
Oh.
And Corey said, go get him, Levi. and he pedaled his ass off, and he beat her.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
All right.
So he won a pedal car race.
So competition is in the bloodline there.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Levi, he's all about running and racing.
Nice.
But,
Eat up with
and
it.
then Jensen, same thing with my 2 kids. It was crazy. I tell people, I watched them. I had something to do with it, and I watched them come out,
Yeah.
and they're totally different.
Yeah.
Not even close to being the same.
Right.
And all the grandkids the same.
Yeah.
And it's so cool, and they all make you laugh, and that's fun.
Yeah. Everybody that I know who's on that grandkid side, they're like, man, you do some cool stuff for your kids. You do some crazy stuff for your grandkids.
Yeah.
And you get to get them all shook up, give them a Red Bull and a puppy and send them
not
home.
too bad. No, we keep them overnight.
Yeah.
No, we keep them overnight.
The next morning when you guys send them home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's not the next morning. That's usually about 4 the next afternoon. They kind of get stretched out.
Remind me, and I'll send you home with some energy drinks so you can send the kids home.
Yeah, correct. We don't know that. We try to de-sugar them.
Right on.
Yeah.
Randy, what do you really want people to remember about Randy LaJoie when Randy LaJoie is no longer here? When people look through the history books, when people bring up the Joie of Seating, when people talk about great Busch drivers, great NASCAR drivers, what do you want people to say when they think Randy LaJoie?
Hey, I hope it brings a smile to their face, and say, man, that guy was, the more you read about him, he was, I tried to make people laugh more than I made them cry, I'm doing that different now with the grandkids. I wish I would have learned things differently about how to upbring the kids, because I was tough on them.
Sure.
Well, I was tough on those kids, and when you're a champion and you dedicate yourself to being a champion, you're very selfish, to hell, your wife, your kids, because of what you have to do to be that champion. I mean, you have to give it 24/7, 7 days a week. It puts you into a place where you're almost being an actor too, because you're acting the part, and it's not necessarily who you were.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we won some, we lost some, and I think I've changed the racing seats world by going to 180 racetracks. I still go to people and say, I never knew you built seats.
Yeah.
It's 30 friggin' years.
It's funny, though, because the kids don't know you ever raced.
No, ever.
And the other guys don't know you built seats.
Correct.
The old timers have no idea you're in the seat business.
Yeah.
The new timers have no idea you ever sat in the seat.
You raced? Oh, yeah. Oh, you're Corey's dad.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome right there, Corey's dad. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome, man. Well, Randy, we really do appreciate you carving out time from your schedule, man. We know you got a lot of stuff going on. We're headed into trade show season, so it's a build season for all of us right now, man. And I've had the honor of working really side by side with you for the last 30 years at trade shows.
That's right.
We look over your way, you look over our way, man. And
when the buses come, we get busy.
Yeah, we sure do. We sure do, man. But we really thank you for coming up today. I hope to get you back on the show sometime soon. If folks want to find out more about buying a seat, get seat information, talk about their safety program, how can they find LaJoie?
The Joie of Seating.com. Let's see, right here on my, I don't even wear a shirt.
Yeah, there you go. But bad for publicity, yeah. So the joyofseating.com, JOIE.
Or LaJoie Seats. It'll take you there.
Right on.
Yeah, for the best damn aluminum seat ever. 704-795-7474.
Fantastic, man. Well, Randy, thanks again for joining us, folks. That's going to do it for another episode of Driving Fast and Taking Chances with Bad Brad. Drive fast, take chances.